In this video, I will show you how to work the vertical invisible seam technique. First, when you've been working in garter stitch, and then when you've been working in stocking stitch. Today, we're going to be using our crazy sexy wool in the rocky grey colourway. And you'll also need a sewing needle. Let's get started. This technique is used to join the side edges of two pieces. So I'm going to start by showing you on two garter stitch pieces. Place your two knitted pieces side by side with the right side of the fabric facing upwards. You're going to begin by taking your sewing needle and threading it with a length of yarn. I'm using a contrasting colour yarn to make this tutorial a bit clearer for you, but you should try and match your yarn to a knitted fabric to make the join truly invisible. So you're going to look at your bottom edge on the first piece that you want to join, and you're going to want to look and see if you can spot the two edge stitches. So this area here is your first stitch, this is your second. So you're going to go up and join the two edges going underneath the horizontal bars that run up this side of the fabric, and then the corresponding bars on this side of the fabric. So you're going to take your sewing needle and insert it underneath the bottom edge of your fabric in between the first and second stitches, like so. And pull your yarn through and leave a short tail which you can then weave in at the end. And you're going to do the same on your opposite piece. So if you look, this is your first stitch, this is your second. So just take your sewing needle up under around that area on the bottom edge, like so. So now you're going to take your sewing needle underneath one of the horizontal bars between your first and second stitch. So if you pull your fabric apart, you should be able to find a bar. So you're going to take your needle underneath it and up. And now you're going to look on your opposite piece, pull your fabric apart to find that same bar. And now you're going to go back to your first piece and take your needle up underneath the next horizontal bar. Pull your needle up through. And then go back to your opposite piece and take your needle up through the next horizontal bar. And I'm doing this quite loosely to make it easier for you to see, but you'll want to pull the join a bit tighter and it'll pull your two edges together to make a truly invisible join. So let's see that again. I'm going to go under the next horizontal bar in my fabric between the first and second stitch. And then I'm going to find the corresponding bar on your second piece of fabric. Pull it up through. And this technique creates not only an invisible join, but it's a good, strong join. And you can see that as I work up, it's pulling the two pieces together, and you can barely even see my contrasting colour yarn anymore. So just keep repeating these steps to continue to join your two side edges, and that's how you work the vertical invisible seam technique when joining two pieces of garter stitch. Now let's see what that looks like when you've been working in stocking stitch. Now, as you did with your garter stitch pieces, make sure that the pieces that you're going to join have the right sides facing upwards and the two side edges are lined up. So thread your needle, and beginning with the piece on the right, you're going to want to identify your first and second edge stitch And once you can see those, just take your needle underneath one of the strands on, it'll probably be either a cast on or cast off edge. And leave a short tail which you can sew in at the end. And then do the same, identify the first and second stitch on your opposite knitted piece. So this is the first, this is the second, and then take your needle under one of the strands on the cast on or cast off edge. So as we did for the garter stitch swatches, we're going to take our sewing needle and thread it underneath one of the horizontal bars that run between your first and second edge stitch. Pull your needle through, and then going to want to find the corresponding bar on your opposite piece. Take your needle up through. Let's see that again. So find the next horizontal bar. You can see that you worked this one already, so you're going to go into the one above it. Take your needle up through, and then the corresponding bar. Let's see that a few more times so you can see what the join looks like. And you can see now that I've joined a few stitches, it truly is an invisible join. It pulls together the two sides of the fabric, and you can barely even see my contrasting yarn unless you pull it apart. So there you have it. Just keep repeating these steps to join your two edge pieces. That's how to work the vertical invisible seam technique here in stocking stitch and also in garter stitch.